Shalom. It's your brother Joshua back with another coffee break, man. Right? And a quick exhortation for the brothers and sisters in the truth. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, B'Shem HaMashiach Yahushua. Right? Didn't want to be too long. I just want to come to encourage brothers and sisters in the last days to, continue to feed the spirit. Continue to feed the spirit at all costs, right? Crave the knowledge of the Lord, right? Overindulge yourself in the love of the Lord to receive the wisdom of the Most High, man, in these last days, in order to navigate through these times, to be watchful and remain steadfast, right, and unmovable in the spirit. Right, being wise in every decision and everything that you diving into, as far as searching for the Most High, man, and perfection in these last days, right? And that's what I just want to come to, encourage brothers and sisters to really, take heed of what's been given. It's the scriptures, man, the manuscript, right, and the blueprint, right, to survive in these last days, man, and to reach your power, the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man, to stay connected in these last days, man. Right, so let me get the book real quick of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse number 6, right, and it reads, "Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled," man. Right? So the Lord said, blessed are those that hunger after righteousness, man. Right? So you can never be full of, wanting to walk in a righteous standpoint and being in a righteous standpoint with the Most High, man. Keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? Making yourself unspotted, right, and unblemished from this world. And continue to, maintain a beautiful regimen and a healthy diet of receiving the wisdom of the Lord, man. Feeding your spirit, man. Right? And it's a beautiful thing to want to desire the scriptures all the time. And one way by doing that is, doing the work, man. And as far as being, doing the work is, doing everything that is written in the scriptures, man. Right? Don't take the Christian standpoint and say, well, I'm just going to believe in the New Testament. I'll do that, believe in Christ, and that's it. No. Because faith without works is dead, man. So we have to live by every word that comes out of the mouth of the Lord. Right? And let's get that witness real quick. Let's stay in Matthew chapter 4 and verse 4. And it reads, "But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh." So you're not just going to live by physical bread, man. To obtain the everlasting and eternal life is by feeding the spirit, the spiritual food that is needed for nourishment, man. To keep you going, to keep you youthful. Right? To have you wax old and mighty in the works of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and the wisdom and the knowledge, man. Right? Of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. These things is what brings you to life. Gives you longevity in this thing, man. To keep the cravings going. You can't curb the cravings by having a little bit here, a little bit there, and being satisfied with what you have. It's always room to grow. It's always room to get better. It's always room to want to get better, man. And to seek, out the knowledge, man. And pray for the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding of the Lord. Right? That's what we have to do in these last days, man. Is pray and hope that the Lord is going to continue to impute those things unto us, man. So we can walk, circumspect in these last days. Right? And that's what you really want to do, is delight yourself in these scriptures, man, and come eat it, because the Lord gave it to you for free. He didn't tell you to come and put some money in a collection plate and then you can get my word. or go pay some type of profit or whatever that they can give you a breakdown or whatever. No, these things are free. And he said, delight in these things, man. Come and sup with me at the table. Right? Let's get Isaiah 55 real quick. Right? These things are available for free. It's in your hand, man. You just got to desire to have it. Right? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 1. It says, ho, everyone that thirsteth, cometh ye to the waters, that ye may have no money. Right? Let me read that again. It says, ho, everyone that thirsteth, cometh ye to the waters, and he that had no money, come ye buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Right? So he's not talking on a physical term of, hey, spend money to get this word. No. Come and buy without money, man. This is spiritual money, man. You're setting your treasures up in heaven right now, man. A spiritual treasure, man. Right? Which is this wisdom, man. This is your money right here, man. Come and get this thing. And it says, wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, or your labor for that which satisfies not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Right? Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. So you want to come and indulge yourself in the sweet savor of the Lord. The Lord told you in Psalms, man, come ye and take a paraphrasing, come and see that I am good. Come taste and see that I am good, man. Right? And we got to come and indulge and delight ourselves in these things, man, and build up the spirit, man. Whatever we're sowing to ourselves is that what we're going to reap at the end, right? We're going to reap the benefit, man, right? We're going to gain that spiritual health, man, the spiritual muscles, right, and give us that endurance to continue to move towards the end, man. And that's what we're looking for, that endurance to keep on, being steadfast and grounded and rooted all the way into the kingdom, man. Right? Because if you're not treating yourself and you're bird feeding, getting a little bit here and get a little bit there, man, then you might forget a little bit. You're taking a little time off and you're not doing this. No, you got to continue to feed, man, right? And build yourself up always, man. Whatever you're going to sow to your spirit, man, that's what you're going to reap. If you sow to your flesh, wickedness and foolishness, that's what you're going to reap. All these things come by the choice of what you make. Either you're going to feed the spirit, man, or you're going to feed the flesh. All right? Let's get this classic, man. You always go to Galatians real quick, man. Get the classic. Right, the book of Galatians. Right? Chapter 6 and verse, I'm going to start at verse number 8. And it reads, for he that soweth to his flesh, of the flesh shall reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And it says, let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So in due season, in due time, right, the growth is going to be seen. As you continue to develop yourself in the wisdom, man, as you continue to feed, man, as you continue to dive in the waters, man, and take a drink, man, right? Eventually those things are going to start sprouting, right? That living water is going to be so compacted. It's not going to be room enough for you to contain it anymore, man. And you're just going to, burst with wisdom, man. The Lord is just going to continue to give it to you, and you can't hardly contain it, man. And, and this is the reason, or I would say this is the way that you can reach perfection. Now, you got to understand what perfection means. Perfection doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect in all aspects of life, all aspects of, anything. You're going to slip up, things are going to happen, but perfection means that you're going to continue to keep going, keep pushing, right? Get up, and start over again, or whatever you have to do. But it always starts right here in the scriptures on how to do that. The steps are right here. right? That's what if you're looking for perfection in the Lord, it's right here, man. It's here to fill you up with that knowledge to know how to be perfect. You know, you hear people in the world always tell you, man, you can't be perfect. There's no way, it's not true. You know, it's not possible for you to be perfect. That's not true. And it's not talking about a sense of, on a carnal level that you never, make a mistake. That's not what perfection is. Perfection is you continuing to do better, to change, to grow, right? That's what perfection is in the eyes of the Lord. And receiving the wisdom of the Lord is the way to perfection, right? So let's try this out real quick. Let's go into the Apocrypha. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon real quick. It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16 and verse number, let's start at 15. It says, to think thereupon her is, matter of fact, we'll start at 15. And it says, to think thereupon her is perfection. And it's talking about wisdom. Perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. Right? So when you think upon wisdom all the time, that's perfection. And it says, for she goeth about seeking such that are worthy of her, shewing herself favorable unto them in the ways that meeteth them in every thought. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love, right? So that's how you're going to contain your perfection, right? Is by discipline, reading constantly, man. Being around brothers and sisters that are, constantly bouncing, wisdom off of each other, man. Paraphrasing, the Lord said, you hear a wise saying or a wise parable and you add onto it. These things are helping to build you up in the spirit. So it says, for the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. So that's how you perfect that or get perfected through the spirit and wisdom. Is having discipline by being in a continual, work ethic, right, to receive her, right? Let's go to the next chapter. Let's go Wisdom of Solomon 8, and let's start at verse 5. Well, I wanted to read this real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 5. It says, if riches be a possession to be desired in this life, for is richer than wisdom that worketh all things. So the Lord is asking, what is richer than wisdom, man? You desire riches in this life, man. On a carnal level, you work hard all day for your slave master to get the so-called check every week, or you go off and do something carnal to get the bag. You work your head off to go do stuff like that, man. But how much more harder should you work to receive wisdom, man, in these last days? And it says, and if prudence work, who of all that are in more cunning workmen than she? And if a man love righteousness, her labor are virtues. For she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. So this is what wisdom teaches you. To have prudence, man. Right? To understand what justice is. To have fortitude. Right? And these things are more profitable in your life than just carnal riches, man. Right? These things that develop in wisdom. And wisdom, when you obtain it, it's going to lead you down a righteous and a wonderful path of what's the word I'm trying to think of is I would say being circumspect to how to dodge evil, right? To stay away from wickedness, to stay away from carnality and things of this world, right? The more wisdom you have, the more understanding and discernment, right, you have to be able to stay away and fight these demons, man. And those things help you receive the kingdom. Those things are your stepping stone to get to the kingdom of the Most High. Right? Let's get one more. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6. Let's start at verse let's just jump down to verse 20. It says, therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. And if your delight be in your delight be then in thrones and in scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore. So you want to put wisdom first, man. You want to honor wisdom. You want to receive that wise spirit from the Most High, man, by standing these scriptures, right? Praying, fasting, studying, and developing the spirit, man, rather than just the physical, man. So I just wanted to come bring a little encouragement, man, to in these last days to continue to build your spiritual treasures, right? And continue to build upon the wisdom of the Most High in these last days, which is going to bring you to a kingdom, man. Right? But with that, I hope that was edifying. I hope you take these precepts and apply them to your life, right? And remember, wisdom is the principal thing. With all thy getting, get understanding. Right? Shalom.